Welcome everybody to Athletically Speaking, Wagon Wheel Sports College Football Show.
Greetings.
We're here with Ryan after a stressful week of college football for the fandom that is the state of Oklahoma. But
Statement, everybody. Everybody had a bad week in
it
Oklahoma,
was
except Tulsa. They went into overtime with somebody irrelevant.
really, wow, way to go,
Yeah,
Tulsa. Go
yeah, no,
Golden Hurricane.
yeah, no, but hey, they repped Oklahoma, so
Yeah, that
was,
they won. Proud of them.
we did not.
Um, we'll just open this thing up with some news that just broke as of like 30 minutes ago. The Pac-12 expansion is not done, but they got their seventh football team that they need out of eight, and that is in the Utah State Aggies. They continue their trend of state schools,
Very nice.
and Utah State was the selection. They got number seven. You know, we talked about this last time. I don't even think we mentioned Utah State as an option for us.
Yeah,
Um, I know that we've seen that Tulsa, or not Tulsa, Tulane, Memphis has kind of planted their flag that they're in the AAC for good.
I like it.
Um,
They don't belong in.
some of the Mountain West schools have even said that they're planted in the Mountain West. Do you think that that's going to change now that Utah State's decided they're jumping ship? Because both conferences now have seven. So you
Yeah,
feel like this is an opportunity for them to either merge, or you think they're
you
going to take
know,
some more out of there?
I don't know. I don't know if they said the ones that say they were going to stay. I wouldn't see them leaving now. I don't really don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
Wonderful, wonderful insight
It's
there.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. To me, like, who else are you going to get that's going to be
I don't know.
worth it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're looking for the same thing. They're not going to bring anybody just to add people. They want people that's going to add revenue
Oh, for sure.
to the
Yeah.
conference. But I mean, who's left of the G5 unless you pull it from a big FCS program? Maybe you think the Mountain West, or maybe the Pac-12 could even go get the Dakotas, North Dakota, South Dakota State schools.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with FCS other than like the Dakotas and Montana. Well, I mean, I guess I know some, but I don't know if I don't out west though. I really don't know who. I would like it to stay like regionally,
Hmm.
but I mean that's out the window with all the other conferences.
Yeah, I mean, because everybody in the West, unless you go into the New Mexico's or something like that, there's not going to be many people to select from. They only need to get one more. So I'm sure they're going to find somebody for football. At one
Maybe.
point this week, I saw Gonzaga was in the running
I Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
for like a basketball only school, I think.
I
But
did see that. And where they're like in the Northeast, aren't they?
they're in
Maybe that's
Washington.
they're like Washington State. I'm
Yes.
dumb. Okay, I knew that. Not really, I didn't. But interesting. Okay, yeah, I thought they were like for some reason somewhere way east. Anyways, okay. I mean,
They
they don't have football though, like you.
No, they do not.
So it's
So it'd be a basketball only, which wouldn't do them any good because they need eight football
yeah,
schools. I
yeah,
think is what it is, eight football schools to
yeah. I
be
don't
at FBS power. So
think so. Yeah,
they'll find somebody else, I'm sure. At this point, why would you not have just merged with the Mountain West? Are you trying? I mean, I guess there's probably a rule somewhere that to keep anatomy that you had to have a certain amount of P5 schools. I don't know, but
Mhm.
oh well,
Uh,
I don't know. That's that.
I can't
Have you
wait to
heard
see.
any other news from the football world?
I feel like I had something, but I don't remember what it is now.
I feel like there was something that I
I
don't
can't. It
remember.
was. I did see about Reggie Bush trying to, which is that's not.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, him trying to sue the Pac-12 and NCAA or
That's so
whatever.
stupid.
I'm like, dude, if you're not going to win that. I wouldn't think
I would
anyways.
hope not.
But because like you knew as a student athlete back then, you weren't going to be compensated,
Well, this
and
is
so
the
like
continue.
just because like now like if they did that, every athlete that came before you and after you, like you can't compensate everybody. Like
Yes, like you'd have to pay back all that money for every single person that they've ever used and still
I
use
don't.
today in video. Like
You
it
couldn't do
doesn't make
that.
any sense. And like it's not like you're gonna go back and it's like at the time, and I'm pretty sure there was a whole stipulation or whatever that the NCAA can use your likeness as
Mm,
they see for advertisement on
yeah.
TV and stuff like that. And not even as advertisement, but they show clips of him because he was that good of a player.
Hmm.
Like you're not that was what you knew was going to happen. If you were a good enough player at a good enough school, your highlights were going to be shown all over the place. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
make any sense
it's
whatsoever. It's something that he's trying to money grab. This is why we should have never given his Heisman back in the first place.
honestly though. I mean, yeah,
Because if we don't give that back, he doesn't get all this crap in his head thinking that he can just do whatever.
he's
He
like, I'm
shouldn't have his Heisman back in the first place because he broke the rules then. Let's just go back and
yeah,
retroactively give everybody stuff back that's ever broken the rules.
yeah, I get that, but
But
I'm not. He's yeah, but just money grabbing.
I
It's
hope he
ridiculous.
loses. It's not like he needs money anyway, so I don't understand what the purpose of his, unless he's just trying to say F the NCAA or something like that, which I mean that's possible, but it doesn't do you any good.
More money in legal fees, and then I mean, I just yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But it's stupid.
Yeah, it's real dumb. Okay. Pick 6 points of the week. Um, my first point that I noticed, and if you ever have any points, just pop them in there. We'll go over six. I don't care.
I
But
bet.
if there's anything you're just like, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
But the first thing that I thought of this weekend is Michigan
Mm.
had like 32 total passing yards and they won the game.
Just run,
They
run, run. Like
they pounded the ball.
I
Everyone
didn't.
in the entire world knew what Michigan was going to do, and Lincoln Riley could not stop it.
I didn't know. I knew that that's what they went to was a run dominant game, but I had no idea it was that few on passing yards.
Yeah, let me go take a peek see at exactly what the number was, but it was not very high at
Wow.
all.
Wow. I mean, that's
I thought it was really funny because Lincoln Riley's defense
it's supposed to be
showed his
improved.
head again.
It's been better,
Yeah,
but now we're going back in old ways.
which
And
I don't know if you remember. I asked the question is just like, were they bad? Were both LSU and USC bad,
they're
or
both
was it
pretty.
like this seems kind of a mid off right now is what I'm seeing getting.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so Michigan's backup quarterback, mind you, because Warren was benched because of how bad he played in the
uh,
first couple of games.
yeah.
I don't even know.
This
I'm
is
honestly not completely sure how you pronounce his last name, but it's Alex Orji, I think.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He had 7 of 12, 32 yards,
That's insane.
and the running back had 17 carries, 180, 159 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's crazy.
Still, like the statistic, just the amount of yards you gain, passing and rushing. I mean, that's insane. Like that's so, and you won that game. Like,
They had 322 total yards and 2 turnovers, held the ball for 29 minutes and 18 seconds,
mm,
and completely dominated that USC defense. Like,
yeah,
I am baffled.
happy for him though. Happy for
Oh,
uh,
I love it.
to get the loss.
I'm
So
very glad that Michigan pulled that game out.
no,
I
for
didn't
sure.
expect them to, but
Neither I no, but anytime USC loses, I mean, I don't have a reason to hate them, but I mean, I just love it.
it's a
By
good thing.
association, I
Yeah.
guess.
Um,
That's
I
sports.
how do you think where does USC go from here? Because this was a game you're looking at, you're thinking Michigan's going to lose
Mm-hmm.
4 to 5 games this year. Like, how do you come back knowing that you gave up 32 passing yards and still lost a game?
You got some work to do.
Because we
Make
talked about this last week. Like, their schedule's pretty easy.
I forgot um who was on their schedule, but yeah, Wisconsin. I mean, yeah, it's definitely manageable. I mean, I don't see anybody really. I mean,
Yeah, like, there's nobody on that thing. I mean, Nebraska just lost to Illinois on
yeah,
Friday night. Like, they're not looking as good as they were.
it's not as they're not like they normally are, and uh,
Like USC should have had a really good year, and then it doesn't look like they're gonna get there again.
no, I don't mind though. I
I
don't
don't
know.
either.
They got some adjustments to make. Something. I mean, it is USC defense though, so it'll
It
always
is a
prevent.
classic Lincoln Riley defense. No matter how good it may originally look, it always
Something goes
finds a
wrong.
way.
Thank goodness.
It's like the Jurassic Park quote.
Mm,
Life finds a way.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
I love it.
Point number two. Missouri, are they any good?
Oh, who'd they play?
Vanderbilt.
That's right. And they went to overtime, didn't they?
They went to overtime. Vanderbilt was leading for a pretty good
Yeah,
portion of
that's
that
right.
game.
dude.
Um,
That's hey Vandy this year. I mean, they have a tough loss, but they shouldn't have lost. But I mean, even them, they're kind of. I mean,
you know,
this
Vandy's
this one,
about to mess around and beat Texas.
dude. I would. Oh, I
I
talked about that
cannot
last time.
wait.
I'll do some ungodly things though to see that.
If man,
Oh,
if they lost every game but like two, and then one of them was to Texas, man, the internet would explode.
yeah, it would. You
But
can always
no, Missouri, I don't know how good they actually are. They're supposed to be good, but so far they haven't shown me anything that's real impressive.
they be fluking. They not real.
In these games, like Boston College, they were at home, they almost lost. They at Vanderbilt, they played at home, they almost lost. Like they're gonna go on the road somewhere. Like they got to play at Bama. Oklahoma's at home, which
I mean,
looking that one right now is
hey, you
looking
guys
F.
looked so much, which we'll get into that. But hey, I mean, I don't know. I think you guys will straighten up, but
We'll
they
get there.
don't. They got a tough schedule though coming up, and when you're going into overtime with Vanderbilt, that's not going to make
It's
you
not a
feel
very impressive
well.
thing.
No,
I'd be
no,
scared if I was a Missouri fan because
absolutely.
I feel like collectively the only weak spot that they really had was on the defensive side of the ball. And so far, that's showing to be slightly true.
Yeah,
They lost a lot of guys, a lot of talent there that's been missing, and it's starting to show through now
yeah.
against some below or like average to maybe slightly above average teams. Like, I don't know how good Vanderbilt is. I mean, I feel like they're still Vandy. You should
Yeah, I
still beat
mean,
them
I
pretty
mean, they do
close.
have some good. I mean, they were nobodies, but they've hung up some points. I don't
They have
forgot
a
who.
good quarterback, Pavier,
Mm-hmm.
thinks something his name. But he's done pretty good this year. I was very surprised with him. But he's putting in the work. He's doing pretty good.
Thank you. I'm happy for them though to get any kind of success they can get. Um, this year, yeah, we've kind of flip flopped to feel like teams that aren't normally like Vanderbilt and Boston College having a lot of success, and then you have teams like FSU that are just having an off year, and even I mean, like I said, even Georgia, they've always won, but they almost lost to Kentucky, and I mean everybody looks pretty mediocre, honestly, and they have some
Yeah,
issues.
there's like
Except Texas, I mean they're the only one,
Texas, but they haven't played anybody either.
and they haven't. No, they haven't won.
Ohio State hasn't been tested. Like there's some teams that have not really played anybody. Texas, Ole Miss, Ohio State. There's a couple more that I can't think of currently, but they haven't really been tested. There could be just a lot of average teams this year, or at least average looking anyway.
They're moving into conference play though, and they're about to be exposed.
Like even with average Oklahoma, Texas isn't going to get tested until they play Red River because they got Mississippi State this next week, who just lost, got dominated by Florida,
Mhm.
and then now they're going to go in to Red River with the bye, and then they play Oklahoma. Like Oklahoma's defense is good. We'll get into that here in a second, but Texas is going to get shell shocked. I feel like once they actually play
I hope
somebody with a half a pulse.
hope so. I do.
Which what you said is a perfect segue to point number three, and that is Florida State gets their first win on the
Yeah,
day or on the year.
against Cal, and like you said, they beat Auburn, which I
Cal
mean,
did beat Auburn in Auburn.
that's cool, and
I
I'm
will
happy for
say, yeah,
um,
right. They finally got somewhere. Happiness was bestowed upon those fans.
they only have to win most of their other games to be bowl eligible, but I mean, even
True. Get
but
back to 500 is a bit of a stretch right now.
yeah,
Which DJU, he went 16-27, 177 yards, touchdown and interception. I mean,
I mean, hey, I mean, it's better than what he's been doing. So,
that facts, which is crazy because California's quarterback Mendoza went 22 of 36, 303 yards and an interception. Like he put up a ton more yards. He just couldn't get it in the end zone.
yeah. Mm,
I'm impressed though. They Cal kicked a ton of field goals. They could never actually score,
yeah, that'll get you.
but Cal almost had double the amount of yardage. They had 410 total yards. Florida State had 284. Cal had 23 first downs. Literally, the only thing that stopped California from winning this game was they couldn't get in the red zone whatsoever.
I mean, that's wins and loses games right there, and so I don't know. Feeling bad if you're them, poor guys
For
losing
real.
to FSU. I mean, that would used to it'd be like, all right, well, it's FSU, but now you're just a laughing stock of the entire college football community.
0-3. I was really hoping Florida State was going to lose every game until the guy ate dog poo out of a red solo cup.
That's
That was kind of like I was hoping that it was going to be like a curse forever until he ate poo.
funny. I've really enjoyed seeing on Tinder. God dang it, on, Twitter, or it's X now. It's not even
The
Twitter.
very various
Uh,
T apps.
yeah, there's a lot of them about. Yeah. Anyways, I've enjoyed seeing everybody saying what they're gonna do. I saw one where it said that if Kansas State loses to BYU, did you see that?
Was that the burrito one?
Burrito one, he would do
Oh Lord, yeah. I
that. And
saw what was funny about that is I saw that tweet first and I was like, oh, and then like I scrolled down a little further and somebody had quote tweeted him and said, I think you have to freeze it first before it'll fit.
yeah, I
And
saw that.
then further down after, because this was after BYU beat the crap out of Kansas State, that he was like currently in touch with Taco Bell. We're about to make history. And I was like, oh no.
I saw something on TikTok. I don't know if it was photoshopped or not, but BYU, they had a picture of like after one of their touchdowns, and he was up with the crowd, whatever, and the caption said "Live Moss."
Oh no.
And then, but
That's funny
I
though.
I couldn't find it on their X account, but I don't know. And people are saying because the student sections are doing that Taco Bell Live Moss thing, so
Yeah.
that's what it was about. But then I like to think it was about the
A
burrito.
subtle hint.
And then, but maybe they deleted it or something. I don't know if it wasn't real at all. But I thought that was funny, even seeing that. So,
That would be funny.
uh,
That's
yeah,
nice. No, yeah. I love that. Everybody's taking this to heart and it's really funny.
yeah. That guy though, he hadn't been seen yet,
Yeah, I think he's still AFK. I don't know where he went.
and he'll come
MIA
back start of basketball season. And like, hey, I was just
after
kidding.
the season.
Let everything flare down a little bit, and
I
so
hope Florida State never wins another game until he does what he says he's gonna do.
that's right. If they don't win a game, it's on him.
That's
He has
right.
blood on his hands.
That's
So,
right.
mm.
Next point, which is another segue here. The state of Utah is 8-0 right now
Yeah,
between BYU and the Utah Utes. And I said, these next 3 points kind of all go together a little bit, but I
mm.
said before the game with State and Utah that if Cam Rising didn't play, State's chances of winning the game went up. Little did I know that Casey Dunn could not call very good plays.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I was unaware.
I thought you did. I thought, oh my
Like
bad.
I knew he was bad, but I thought he had a little bit of common sense to the man that maybe he was smart enough to call some good stuff. But let me tell you, I watched some of that game, some highlights after the fact, and oh boy, that was rough.
And then Gundy to have the audacity to be like, "Oh, we should keep on doing what we're doing, or we need something." I
Yeah,
don't.
there's nothing we need to change.
Excuse me. Somebody needs fired. I mean, we have, I would say, arguably one of the best rosters in the Big 12, and you're not utilizing him. I mean, we have Ollie Gordon, and they held him to 42 yards. He's not gotten over 50 or 60 in all the games except week one against SDSU. And he had like 140 or something. But other than that, yeah. I mean, what the heck? I mean, dude.
You
Oh.
know, I asked in one of the earlier episodes, I was like, is it just because that they know he's good and they're trying to stop him? But at this point, I
I
don't
mean,
even know.
our everything is wrong. I mean, our offensive linemen, we have one of the most experienced lines, but that don't mean nothing if they're not blocking. They're doing fantastic in the pass block. Bowman, he got sacked for the first time this game, once, maybe twice, but that was his first time getting sacked all season long. He's been untouchable for the most part. Um, but the run blocking is just abysmal. It's awful. Um, it's so bad. It's so bad, and I hate it for Ollie because he gets so ticked off. And I'm like, don't transfer. That's all I think about when,
Please, for the love
like,
of God.
please. Like, because like I
Well,
know
he's a senior, is he not?
no, he's a junior.
So he's got one more year.
Yeah, and it's just man, it's so sad seeing him and his talent. And, you know what he has, what he can do, and he can't do it because our offensive coordinator is an idiot, and our linemen aren't blocking. And I don't like Casey Dunn at all. I made that very clear. But there's only so much to the point you can do. I mean, nothing was going right. The connection from Bowman to our other receivers, like I mean, nobody was doing their job. So except the defense, thank God. I mean, our defense held on for so long. They were on the field for 42 minutes,
That's
and
crazy.
the turf was 140 degrees. They had like the thermometer at the ground before the game,
Yeah.
and people at were like, "Oh, the defense is starting to yada." Like, I would be too. Hey, I'm not faulting those guys at all because I mean, towards the end, they were like they can't wrap up, and but I
Like at
mean,
some point, the offense has to do something,
it was
which
quite literally.
we are in the same boat right here, right now. Like we
Yeah,
are living the same life because the
yeah.
offense has to do something eventually.
Something like, and then I don't understand why you take out the quarterback. I understand your guys's, which we'll talk about that more, but then we put him back in, which he deserved to be back. He should have been taken out because that's just going to hurt someone's confidence. At least with Venables,
Bowman.
he had yeah, they took him out and put Rangel in, um, and then they put him back in, and they're like, well, sometimes you have to calm the guys down, and they're like, dude, you just ruined his confidence. Like, and then he went on to score 2 touchdowns. I think it was. I quit watching at that point because I was so ticked off. So one of those touchdowns, I think, yeah, it was very. And then we lost by 3, which ticked me off also because at the beginning of the game, I sent that in the group checks. That was not a catch. What do you think? Because had they not gotten that, we would have stopped them there. That would have been fourth down. They would have punted because they would have been like 4th and 11. But instead, they got that and got the first down, and we still stopped them. But they settled for a field goal. And we lost by 3 points. That right there, that was what do you think?
I
That,
honestly I can't remember the play off the top of my head. Um, by this point, I was in Hideaway,
no,
having a good time. But so
yeah,
I don't
man.
really remember that play per se.
But that was
I'd
so
have to go back and watch it and then let you know.
it was so dumb. I
I remember
mean,
you saying that, and I remember glancing up the TV, but I don't remember seeing that.
give me a second. I know we're kind of on a rant here, but I'm just very
It's okay.
emotional at the moment and stuff. And yeah, it's right here somewhere. It's right here. It's right here. I don't know what happened. Okay, I don't know what happened. I lost it, but anyways, it was ridiculous. And yeah, I don't know. Storming outside.
It's supposed to be
Uh,
getting close.
yeah,
You see that supercell in Oklahoma City?
yeah,
That thing was
dude.
wild.
It was.
Nice looking. Anyway, um, yeah, I mean, we're gonna circle back around to here to Utah, the Utah people later. But God, we gotta let some steam off on this one. Um, I was at the game in Norman,
Yeah,
and there were words flying across
I
the
bet.
field for me.
I bet.
First of all, I'd like to lead off with Oklahoma's defense is damn good.
Hmm?
They're real good. I think I've looked at the stats. We're currently like a top 10 defense in the country right now, and
Yeah.
it's probably going to stay that way. OU, Danny Stutzman, Billy Bowman, those guys are legit. I would like this to be a point of emphasis because Nico Iamaleava only threw for 194 yards the whole game. We only held him to one touchdown. The defense held Sampson, their star running back, had
Mhm.
24 carries, only had 92 rushing yards
Ooh.
and a touchdown. Total yards was 345, which it didn't feel like a lot considering they only scored 25 points.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to flip this over. The defense is good, A plus from them. The crowd, A plus crowd. The stadium was packed.
Hmm.
Holly Rose said that the loudest the stadium got was 117 decibels. which is the loudest that any stadium's been in the past 2 years that that crew has been on any stadium, including louder than Death Valley at LSU.
Okay.
Just throw that in there.
Yeah.
So A plus crowd, proud of y'all.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about this. The offense was the worst thing that think I've ever seen watching football. And I've seen some Iowa offense. Listen, the fact that Hawkins came in the second half, he was better.
Oh yeah. Dude. Oh yeah.
He finished the game 132 yards and a touchdown. He was also the leading rusher with only 22 yards. And I got some words for Seth Luttrell on that one. Jaquez Petaway came in and led with 79 yards receiving. Who, when you look at Tennessee and you know that their defensive line is probably the best defensive line that OU is going to see all year,
Mhm.
who in their right mind thinks, you know what? Let's run the ball right in the middle of their defensive line with our offensive line who's down their starting center, their starting left tackle. That seems like a good idea.
Yeah,
In
dude.
fact, let's do it on the 2 yard line after we just got a false start penalty and try to run it up the middle on a blitz in which they get a safety in the end zone. That
Basic.
sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
The two best running plays of the game were two jet sweeps. They were jet sweeps to Deion Burks in open space in which he got out and was actually did something because
Yeah.
we were running to the outside where we made their linemen move laterally across the field. We opened up the field.
Hmm.
They didn't do anything beside those two outside sweeps. They didn't roll Jackson Arnold out. They rolled Hawkins out, but I don't even think it was intended because Hawkins was a runner and he ran. He was scrambling to get out and he made open passes
Yeah.
and it helped us out.
Oh yeah.
The Hawkins makes the team better, and that's why I think we're going to do better against Auburn this week is because of Hawkins and because he's going to make time, he's going to buy himself time to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, Jackson Arnold.
So depressing because everyone
Son,
so high on him.
I don't understand. Like I feel like it has to be, which credit to him, he's a sophomore, he's still young. Um I really truly think that not having an offensive line and not having receivers has like crushed him
Yeah.
completely because
Get that.
there was at one point, there was twice actually that I remember looking up at the Jumbotron and they would snap the play and within like half a second there would be four Tennessee linemen in the backfield and he's having
Yeah.
to throw it like immediately after the snap. So I can understand making some mistakes, but buddy, when your defense gets you a turnover on the 5 yard line, you
Mm.
can't immediately fumble the ball back to him the play after.
Yeah.
You can't throw into triple coverage when you have Deion Burks running wide open on a post route down the field.
Yeah.
Which this was a forward pass. I would like to clarify that. That's a forward pass. But
Mm.
you can't throw a quote unquote lateral
Mm.
and fumble the ball. That's yet again the second time the play after your defense gets a turnover forces Nico to fumble the ball twice and gets it. You can't do that.
No.
OU wins this game if he doesn't commit those penalties. If they score at the 4 yard line, that ties the game. That shifts momentum completely. If they go in and do that, they win the game.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely would have made it would have helped for
I
sure.
know people I've seen all over Twitter, even all the SEC homers around here, they're like, "Welcome to the SEC." It's like, brother, we lost that game to anybody we played.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the people on Twitter, for the most part, have been saying, "Oh, well, Tennessee was they were playing whatever. They were just letting off the pedal." It's like, no, they weren't. Hawkins got blitzed more than Arnold did the whole game in the second half. They were
Yeah.
sending the crowd after him.
Hmm.
They were playing starters. They were trying to score. Don't act like that they weren't. That
Like no.
game was two possession game with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They were trying to score.
I saw a thing where Heupel told one of his players, "Is like I told him to let up." Or I don't know if you saw that. It was on
I didn't see
Twitter,
that.
but yeah, I
But
don't. Yeah, I don't,
yeah, they were like they let up. No, they didn't. They were trying to score because if OU go makes that one touchdown, it's a one possession game.
yeah,
They're not gonna stop playing football with 8 minutes left in a one possession game. Like, use some
no,
sense. OU's defense had them on lockdown,
mhm,
and OU's offense couldn't keep up until we put Michael Hawkins in, and he actually did some stuff because
yeah,
he's got wheels.
hmm
This game was a full on embarrassment of Jackson Arnold, was an embarrassment of the offensive line, was an embarrassment of the running game, and most importantly, Brent Venables this past today actually came out with his press conference and was sitting and talking about how some of these play calls were not what he envisioned, and he even talked about in one instance, he said that um he basically went on to say that the plays that we did in the game were not what we had practiced. And I'm like, well, why would we even run that in the first place? He's like, yeah, these aren't. I don't know why we're doing that. Basically, he threw Seth Luttrell under the bus, and thank God because if
yeah,
he came out and pulled a Mike Gundy and was like, well, there's nothing really we need to fix.
yeah. Okay.
And then Seth Luttrell came out after the game and was like, yeah, I mean, we just got to watch film and it's all fixable. We just got to watch film. Then why haven't you done it in the past 4 weeks? If it's fixable, go fix it. Like you
Mhm.
had 3 weeks knowing this was the problem, and you went into Tennessee and just crapped all over the bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Latrell pisses me off. He needs to go away.
hmm
You need to go hire someone else that's going to be competent for the offense. If Venables wants to make this team a national championship contender year in year out,
hmm
he's already fixed the defense. Wonderful. That's exactly what we wanted. But now we're wasting this defense with a crappy offense.
Yep.
So go fire Latrell. Go hire someone to run the offense and say it's yours. Do whatever you want. It's yours.
Yeah.
Anything else for you? That's all my OU rant.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't have anything except you guys better figure it out. You got the gauntlet to go through here soon, and
Which, to the point, as we were talking about earlier, Auburn's bad. OU
oh
should
yeah,
win at
you
Auburn
you should.
with
Yeah,
flying colors. Then we got bye week at Texas. It's going to be interesting to see what our defense can do with Quinn Ewers. I think we're going to be able. I think it's going to be a lot like the Tennessee game. I think we're going to be able to shut them down. It's
yeah.
just can the offense keep up? Um, Maine will be a win. South Carolina will be a win. Right now, Missouri hasn't impressed me. I
No,
think that could be an easy game. It's at Missouri, but I think we'll be able to win that game.
yeah.
LSU has looked kind of mid. Like
hmm
that could be a tough game at the end of the year. And then depending on what happens this week with Alabama, Georgia, we'll see how that game goes. But
Excited for that.
right now, our defense gives us a shot in any game we're playing.
No, for sure, absolutely.
It's just whether or not the offense can do its thing.
hmm
You got any more with State? And then we'll move on to the Utahs.
No, I don't believe so. I think I said everything. Fire Casey Dunn, and um, yeah, no, it wasn't all his fault, but it didn't help. But
But
anyways,
yeah, exactly. Um, so BYU,
they
this
did
was a
get
late night game in a packed Edwards Stadium. We've been there. It was beautiful.
beautiful. Oh, it was
Um, a night game, and they scored like 21 points in like 7 minutes of football, or 28 points in 7 minutes of football. They like put it on Kansas State.
sleepers right there.
Yeah, like
I didn't
Kansas
think.
State, Oklahoma State, and Utah were the favorites to win the conference. Is Kansas State doesn't seem like a worry, but right now, Utah, BYU, Iowa State, is that like the three teams you think that's got a
Look,
chance for the Big 12?
looking like it right now. And if we don't lose, if we don't win it, I'd BYU. I like them. They're respectable.
BYU's cool.
Yeah, I'd want it to be them over anybody else. But
I don't think Iowa State's a bad option. So I don't know how you feel about Iowa State, but
I don't really care. I mean, they're not a bad option. Um,
BYU I think would be cool to see when the Big 12. I'm not sure they'll get there. I'm not sure what BYU's schedule looks like either for the remainder of the year.
not either. I don't know.
Let's see. Where at BYU? plays this week if they play.
Oh,
Let me know if you find it first, or if you're even looking.
oh no. Oh no, sorry. BYU football
I
should be
think
on.
I think BYU has a bye week this week.
Um, see, they play. No, they play Baylor.
Oh, that should be a win,
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And then Arizona, which yeah, I
which
mean,
probably a win because Kansas
um,
State killed them.
oh yeah. UCF.
Be a
What's
tough
their
game.
record? 22. And then Utah. That's a loss.
Yeah,
Probably.
especially with Cam Rising going to be back by then.
Yeah. And
But right
Kansas.
now they're at one loss.
Who's that?
BYU.
Oh no, no, they're not. They're.
Well, I'm saying like if they lose to Utah,
Oh yes, yeah.
and then Kansas won't be, or Kansas. They've taken a step back too. I expected them to be a little better than they are, but they are not. They're not there. So that's probably an easy win for them.
Yeah. It's Big 12 is just chaos right now, and
Anybody could take it right now.
anybody really. I mean, um, I don't know. I hope that we get our act together because man, I can't. We should be better than this. It's ticking me off.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, I feel that. All right. Well, that's all the points I got. Unless you got anything else you want to throw in there. That was a good forever on just those few games.
Yeah.
But
Uh, no, I don't think I do. I as the season progresses, I'm sure we'll have some more rants and I'm yelling to do, and stay tuned for next week. So
yeah,
thank
for
you.
real.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of Oklahoma State, Kansas State,
hmm
how do you feel about it?
Um, I like to. I mean, I don't. I don't know. I don't feel very good. I mean, Kansas State. They're not.
They
I
just
don't know.
got blown out.
They did, which makes me feel great. Although BYU, they're pretty decent so far. I mean, I like to think we could take care of business. Just like a lot of people doubted us last year, we beat them. But that was
Where's
in
this?
Stillwater.
Where's this game's in Manhattan, right?
At the light Apple, yeah,
Little Apple.
the small little Apple, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I have to go with Oklahoma. I really do though. I think that we'll get better. Probably not. Oklahoma State. Yeah, that's
I don't think Avery Johnson's played as well as what Kansas State fans would have liked him to at this point.
yeah.
Like they kind of hyped him up a lot, and I don't know if he's completely lived up to all that hype, but we shall see. I haven't heard much coming out of Kansas State about any other player really. They've just been kind of really laying low
Yeah,
this season for me. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I'm not sure which way that game's gonna go, but
will be. But I'm going to Oklahoma State though.
yeah, I'll have to make a pick later, but I'm not worried about that right now.
Okay.
Next up, Arkansas A&M.
Oh, oh, it's too much. Okay. Uh, I mean,
Ooh, it's raining here now.
yeah. Let's say it's rocking and rolling here. Who's A&M play again? All there. No, they beat Notre Dame, which no, they didn't. Notre Dame
They
beat them.
they lost Notre Dame, yeah. Let's see. Where's that game at?
Looks like it's going to be. Oh well, that's at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, Jerry's World.
Yeah. Um, barely lost one. I forgot about that. Barely won the Bowling Green.
Who was that?
Texas A&M.
Mm.
And, I'll go. I'm gonna take Arkansas. I mean, they looked really good this last week against Auburn.
Currently A&M's a 4-point favorite,
Yeah, 80.
which Arkansas as of right now is surprisingly, I don't know. I don't know what to think about them because they have their moments. Like they didn't play great against A&M, but really their best game they played against Oklahoma State, and then they ended up losing that game. They put up over 600 yards, and like
Mm,
they haven't really been able to do that again. I don't know if what that's all about, but like Taylor Green, as of right now, has 957 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The running back in Jackson, 472 yards and 8 touchdowns. Like they've got some good numbers right now. They just haven't been able to capitalize a lot of it.
yeah,
But they're a hair away from being undefeated right now.
yeah.
So I'm not sure. A&M and Wegman hasn't looked great. Like you said, they were struggling with Bowling Green last
Mm,
week. This is going to be a very
not gonna be a
watch
good.
your eyes type of game. I feel like I don't know. This could be ugly, 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 which it
Yeah,
usually is with Arkansas A&M. So
yeah. I got the Razorbacks.
yeah. All right, preview number three, the big one, game of the week, Georgia, Alabama.
Uh,
What do you got to say about this game?
I don't know, man.
Powerhouses finally meet in the regular season.
Yeah,
Does Alabama have a chance that they can actually pull this game off?
they're. I mean, the both teams have struggled. Alabama struggled against far against some worse people. I don't know. I'll go Georgia just because they've been really consistent up until Kentucky, but um.
You're making picks and we're not even in the pick 'em yet.
Oh, I forgot we're not. Is that not what we're doing right now?
No, we're previewing
We're
games.
just previewing. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm a little tired and delusional. Oh, I completely. I was like, wait a minute.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, Georgia. It's,
But yeah, I mean, Alabama's at home, so that's nice.
yeah.
Georgia, um, on the verge of losing to Kentucky. Alabama struggled real bad against South Florida. Jalen Milroe though has looked good since. Kalen
Mm,
DeBoer seems to have them on the right track going in. As long as Georgia keep their players out of jail, I think they're going to look pretty good.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
This is the second few games.
Kirby's coming into Tuscaloosa though, which hasn't done to my knowledge. That Alabama crowd's going to be tough. And with that Carson Beck is going to be in the situation where he's going to have to actually play a big boy, not in Atlanta. They're going to have to
Mm,
go to their house and actually play them. I feel like this game really sets up for Alabama to beat Georgia. Kalen DeBoer, I feel like he's going to have a good plan to go into Georgia
yeah.
or to compete with Georgia because Kentucky showed the weaknesses. Alabama has got better players and it can actually exploit them. So this is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Um, it's going to be a big battle for that primetime 6:30 kickoff. I just hope Alabama does it because I'm tired of hearing about Georgia.
If
Because Texas is or OU's going to beat Alabama at the end of the year anyway, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah,
At
yeah,
least that's the hope.
yeah. Yeah. Anybody Georgia loses to, I'm down with. I don't care who. Somebody though, I'm tired of them.
Yeah, for real. Hopefully they'll lose a couple. I'd like to see Alabama beat them. Man, listen, listen, I will say this about Tennessee. If Tennessee could go and just win a natty, I'd be a-okay with that. Full on.
See that you
Like
guys hung in there kind of with
like
them, and
I don't even care about all that. Like if Tennessee and Josh Heupel went and won a natty, it's somebody different. It's
that's
not
true.
like I'm
Anybody,
sure
well,
their fans
honestly,
would
I
blow
would.
up.
Man, I mean,
Like if there's a couple teams that I'd want to win a natty, like Tennessee would be one.
Tennessee.
I think like any of those Big 12 teams, like Utah
Yeah,
did it, that'd be nice.
I, I
Michigan got it last year.
I want anybody that's not in the SEC and not in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
Oh,
for real. Let's get Oregon State a natty.
let's get a G5 or something. You know,
Yeah, heck to the Power Four. Let's go. Come on.
let's go lower. Like, I'd be all right with that. I really would.
I would too. We
See
shall
next.
see, I guess. 12-team playoff opens up the door at least.
Yeah,
Somebody that may hopefully not be there.
yeah, yeah.
Well, you ready for pick'ems?
I've been ready apparently 'cause I've been.
That's true. You've been picking games. All right. So number one, make sure to put these in your phone, by the way.
I am, yeah,
Oh, hello. Anyway, Oklahoma State, Kansas State.
yeah. Oklahoma State and everything I talked about before, and if our offense can just come together, kind of like you guys, which I think they will, be better. But I don't know. I don't have much hope for us. Gunny didn't really give me much hope
This
coming
brother,
into this
yeah.
next week, except our defense. If they can continue um, playing a good defense, and dude. Also, what I didn't talk about earlier, Trey Rucker, he came in our defense and he did phenomenal. He had 15 tackles, 5 or 6 solo, 2 interceptions. Uh,
Nice.
dude, he did fantastic. So I don't know if we can just continue that and literally just have somewhat of a pulse on offense. I mean, if we could even get field goals, we can, we didn't we if we
Scoring
could
is
get
scoring,
field
man.
goals even, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, but yeah, Oklahoma State.
All right. I too will very cautiously pick Oklahoma State. Um, I feel like if Kansas State at home scares me a ton.
Yeah,
Like there's places you just don't want to play. Lubbock, Texas Tech, Ames, Iowa, and then Manhattan, Kansas is a death trap to go to.
yeah,
That scares me. Your defense in the second half of the game, your offense in the second half of the game kind of give me a little like maybe thinking, well, they can continue that. If they start slow, this is going to be a death match, I feel like.
yeah,
Hopefully your running game tries to get going. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if Bowman can throw the ball successfully, then I don't think your running game is going to matter too much because you got Brendan Presley on the outside. If you get him the ball, he's going to get there. So I'm going to go Oklahoma State, but it scares me,
yeah.
much
Thank you.
like most of these picks on here do. But
Yeah, I appreciate you.
next up, BYU Baylor.
BYU, they've really impressed me. Said starting out 4-0. Baylor, they're Baylor. Um, I don't know. I'll go with the Cougs. Go Cougs. So
Go Cougars.
yeah, bro. Yeah. Mr.
Um,
Homer gonna have a
I
good day.
agree. Yeah, I think BYU's the pick. Baylor's just not any good.
Um,
It's weird because Dave Aranda, his like first or second year at Baylor, they went to the Big 12 championship, and then it's just been a downhill slide since then. So
yeah.
I don't know. BYU's the pick. I think they're gonna go 5-0. They're gonna be looking real good coming into the
Oh,
next.
absolutely. Yeah.
Um, Louisville, Notre Dame.
Yeah, Louisville, they're pretty solid. I don't even know how they played. I knew they were undefeated so far, but um, look, Louisville. Yeah, I mean they haven't played anybody at all. I like well, I don't know. Notre Dame's not been. I'm gonna go Notre Dame with 68% of other people picked. I don't like that because they're so I mean, they're inconsistent, but I'm gonna go Notre Dame.
I want to go Louisville. I think Louisville is. I think they're a pretty good team this year. I think Notre Dame's been too inconsistent
Oh, for
for.
sure. They have.
Um,
I'm looking
they
at
go one way, they lose to Northern Illinois, they beat somebody by 60, and then they kind of sort of win by 28, like six, I think. So I got Louisville on that one.
that's fair. I get that.
Arkansas A&M.
I'll go Arkansas. I've liked the way that they're doing a lot better. Having the new OC. Um,
Bobby P.
yeah, I know the man, the myth, the legend. Um, good lord. But yeah, they did really well against Auburn at Auburn. So I'm gonna go Arkansas. Getting the benefit of the
Um, I don't know where to go on this one
doubt.
because everything in my gut tells me that A&M should beat Arkansas, and they
Hmm.
usually have in the past.
Yeah.
Um, but kind of what you're saying too, Arkansas hasn't looked great offensively. Their defense is held up.
Yeah, they're
So,
figuring it out.
oh, I'm gonna go A&M, I think. I feel like as of right now, I just can't
No,
not
I
pass it up at the moment. So
yeah.
A&M will be my pick.
Mm-hmm. No, I bet.
One that will have massive G5 playoff implications.
Mm-hmm.
Liberty, App State.
Yeah. I don't know much. I know Liberty's looked flawless, I think. I mean, they're 4-0, but I think looking back at their wins, they've had really good solid wins and they've been putting up a lot of points at least. Um I'm gonna go when App State's 2-2. I'll go Liberty. I mean they're pretty consistent.
Yeah, I agree. I think Liberty's the pick. Hayden Salter's just a really good quarterback. Um, he's somebody that I look forward to seeing. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, they're obviously not gonna win an Addy or something like that, but uh, they're probably gonna win this game. So I like them.
Yeah.
Fresno State, UNLV.
Um I don't UNLV. Um I mean I know that they beat Houston
They did.
and I don't know. I think that they've been under 3-0. I was looking at Fresno State. Um, I mean Fresno State's
They've done well.
they've been okay, but I'll go UNLV.
I'm going UNLV too. This is actually who I've zeroed in on. Like if I'm Brent Venables, I'm firing Seth Trail like
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, and I'm hiring UNLV's offensive coordinator because they're putting up insane offensive numbers right now. He's a great offensive coordinator, and for that alone, and of course they're just a good team. UNLV is the team I'm going with.
I like it.
Speaking of Oklahoma at Auburn,
So I'll go Oklahoma here.
thank you.
Their defense is look at Auburn. Actually, no, I'm just kidding.
Switching up.
Their defense is top notch right now. Got a lot of good players, key players doing their jobs and being good leaders, and have a really solid defense. Offense, I think they're starting to figure it out, especially with Hawkins at the helm. I think that I think he just provides a little bit something more that Arnold can't. And I like that he's not afraid to put his body on the line, which is kind of nerve wracking.
It was very nerve-wracking. I
Doing
saw
some.
him. I wasn't there in the stadium because I'd left by this point, but
Oh,
I
really?
later saw um the video of him doing a spiral through the air, and I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh, please don't do that.
yeah.
Please." I get what you're trying to do. I respect it,
Like
but
he's like,
don't
I'm
do
gonna
that.
start next week. God dang it!
He was really going for it. I'd give
I
him
like
credit to that, that's for sure.
it.
Um, yeah, I got Oklahoma too for much of the same reasons you said. The defense is going to keep you in with any game in the country. Auburn's just bad. They're a worse version of Oklahoma, I think. Like they have a good defense, but their offense is oh boy, their offense is in some real struggle busing. Worse than Oklahoma's is, and that's saying something. But
Oh, sure.
Oklahoma, I think Michael Hawkins gives them a better chance because they Michael Hawkins gives him the chance that he can be mobile. So when the pocket does break down, he can scramble out and buy himself more time to make throws. I think Oklahoma is going to have a good bounce back week, and I think they can come out and win this game pretty handily in Auburn. I mean, if California can beat Auburn at Auburn,
Yeah,
Oklahoma should be able to handle Auburn pretty good. Arkansas beat Auburn. Like, come on.
yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
UNC Duke,
Um, I'll go. I know. Shoot, when UNC let James Madison hang 70 on him, which I mean, that's good.
bro,
Cool.
that's wild.
It is. I mean, but they're
James
all
Madison.
450. If they're
Okay.
defense.
But do you remember this was a classic game. Like, do you remember last year when they let App State force overtime by scoring 42 in the fourth quarter?
Oh no, 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 no! I don't remember
Yeah.
that.
They let them score 42 points in the fourth quarter, which forced it to overtime.
The defense is abysmal. I
Yeah,
guess
real bad.
they're non-existent. Okay. I mean, their offense can obviously score points. The defense struggling, man. Whew. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. I was looking at Duke's schedule. I'll go. I mean, they haven't really played anybody. Either. They're sorry. I'm kind of. I'll go Duke. I'll go Duke.
I too will go Duke. I just think UNC is a bad football team this year.
Yeah.
Duke's going to be a better. I think they're going to be more consistent on both sides of the ball. It's going to help them push that victory.
Yeah.
Um, we'll skip one real quick and we'll loop back around. But Washington State, Boise State.
Oh, I was just about to look there. Thingy. I'll go Boise State.
I also will go Boise State. I think they've got the offense going. They look good. They're going to be the Group of Five nominee. I feel like so.
Yeah.
All right, the big one, the game of the week: Georgia, Bama. Who you got?
Georgia. Talked a little bit about it earlier, but I mean they've been a little bit more consistent, and I mean I don't really doubt Kirby Smart. So
The only team that Georgia's lost to in the past couple of years has been Bama.
I mean, yeah, but
That was a Nick Saban Bama
it was though. It was. I mean, yeah, it is different than what Saban was there.
at
Mm,
in Tuscaloosa. Can Kalen DeBoer continue the trend?
We shall see. I'll
I
take
hope
Georgia.
I hope so, but I don't think they will.
No.
I think Georgia's gonna win that game. As much as I hate it with every fiber of my being, I think they go in and win the game.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hopefully not. Hopefully Jalen Milroe will throw for like 80 touchdowns and beat the crap out of them, but
Yeah,
I don't feel good about it.
yeah, I feel that. We shall
All
see.
right. Well, that's all for the pick'ems. You got anything else?
I do not. Just sleepy. So
I feel that.
so
All right.
good,
Well, that's it then for athletically speaking.
guys. Come again.